talk college football and just a little bit off center here. The Mountain West Conference is going to meet in their spring meetings, and they are seriously considering changing their revenue sharing plan. At the end of the day, if you go to a bowl game, if you go to the NCAA tournament, you get what's called an NCAA unit. It's like bonus money. But Boise State has a different contract in the Mountain West. They get additional money. That was given to them so they'd stay in the conference and wouldn't defect to the Big 12 a group of years ago. Well, now San Diego State, because of the enormous success in basketball, says, hey, if we got this rule for Boise, we need to consider this rule for everybody else in our conference. So if we get chosen for the tournament and we win the first game and go on to the second round and third round, fourth round, we get additional bonuses. Last year, the Aztecs generated $10 million in NCAA basketball units for going to the final game. They only got $1 million. They only got one share. And what's going to be kicked around and be proposed is, okay, the first lump sum unit for getting to the tournament, everybody, New Mexico gets in, Vegas gets in, Utah State, whatever, they all get a bonus for getting the tourney. All that goes into a pool and it's divided. San Diego State is now proposing, if we win our first game and we go to the second round, we get the full bonus. That's like $1.4 million for every game you win. So the Aztecs would have the potential of maybe getting $5 million bonus units if they got back to the final round again. So there's going to be a huge, huge discussion about that. The West Coast Conference has the same bonus plan. They devised a couple of years ago to keep Gonzaga. They devised the same thing. Everybody gets a unit. St. Mary's, San Francisco. If they get into the tournament, everybody in the conference gets a share of the unit. But they agreed to allow Gonzaga to go forward every round they went. And they went deep a bunch of times. They would keep the bonus units. So Mountain West and San Diego State say, hey, this is the way it's worked for Boise in football. We want the same thing for Aztecs in basketball, and it's worked successfully in the West Coast Conference. So the model might change.
My take on that, first of all, Boise had that deal many years ago when they wanted to keep them there. I mean, is that like a lifetime contract?
Yeah, that came up in a discussion.
I mean, that needs to go away.
Yeah.
Okay, because Boise ain't the same program now that it was when they made that deal. And, as far as bowl games, it used to be the team that went to a certain bowl, they got a higher percentage, but then the rest of that money would be divided equally among the other schools in the conference. As far as basketball is concerned, I think they had to go the same way. You shouldn't necessarily get the entire chunk, but you should get a higher percentage. And then the other part of the money ought to be dispersed equally throughout the course of the programs, because really, I look at the West Coast Conference. I mean, the rich get richer. I mean, Gonzaga already has so many competitive edges. I mean, they've got their own private plane. They can bring recruits in. They can, get home after a long road game a lot quicker. I mean, the rich get richer with deals like that. And who's to say, I mean, in the days now of gambling and in college athletic people gambling on games, who's to say that, officials in a tight game, Gonzaga against USF for a team to go to the next round of the conference tournament, and everybody wants Gonzaga because they can make more money for the conference. Who's to say down the stretch a couple of calls go here or there? You never know, Lee.
Conspiracies, John.
You know what I'm talking about. I mean, hey, like it's not happened before.
Oh, I'll leave it at that. Oh, okay. We go from that